Bonnie Crombie is out as Ontario Liberal leader. She survived a leadership review yesterday, but with only about 57% of the vote. By her own acknowledgement, this is not the outcome she hoped for, and so the party, which won a provincial election back in 2014, is set to rebuild once more. Queen's Park reporter Shawn Jeffords covered the Liberal gathering this weekend. He joins us now. So, Shawn, we first heard she was staying, and then she wasn't. So take us through the twists and turns of the day.
Well, Dwight, you touched on it right there. It was a bit of a wild day in terms of the outcome of this leadership vote that Bonnie Crombie faced, a mandatory review after an election loss back in February. The party placed third in that snap vote called by Premier Doug Ford and his party. The Liberals, the Liberal Party convention they held a vote effectively across the course of the weekend, and the results were to have come in yesterday around noon, Sunday around noon. They were delayed several hours, which of course started the rumor mill turning. And then we had Bonnie Crombie come out onto the stage when the results were released, and we discovered that 57% vote share she had received. You said it right there, not the vote that she had hoped for. Let's hear from her about those results.
It's not the number I wanted, but it is not the finish line for me. I met with my caucus this morning, and I have the support I need to continue. I will be meeting with Executive Council immediately following the podium, and we still believe that a leadership race at this moment would do more harm than good for our party.
So, Dwight, right there, you can hear Crombie's determination to stay, but clearly something changed in the hours after she made that comment. You heard her say she was meeting with the party's executive council. So these are the elected leaders of the Ontario Liberal Party. Clearly, there were discussions we are not privy to, but Crombie changed course, later releasing a statement saying that she was going to resign as party leader in order to create a smooth transition to a new leadership race. Now, it came as quite a surprise to a degree after she made these comments that she was going to stay on. Clearly, something changed in those intervening hours.
So, Shawn, after an election loss, the knives come out for the party leaders. Who's holding that knife against Bonnie Crombie right now?
It's a great question. I think you can look at the internal divisions within the party. They're quite evident from that vote result. 57% support is not, as Crombie said herself, what she had hoped for. A group called the New Leaf Liberals had been pushing for renewal, change at the top of the party, and they said that they wanted to see Crombie get at least 66% of the vote. So certainly they were suggesting that that change in leadership was required because there were a lot of systemic issues, fractures in the party that had not been addressed since 2018. So not just Crombie, but by other leaders as well. And they were looking for a new leader to address those. Now, it's also worth noting that Nate Erskine-Smith, the federal MP, former federal cabinet minister, and a contender for the leadership in 2023, was also calling for a new leadership race. He's not said if he is going to run just yet, but we have reached out for comment to him.
You heard Bonnie say that a leadership race not great for the Liberals right now. So, Shawn, what is next for this party?
Well, Dwight, right there, you said it. I mean, it's going to be a potentially fractious leadership race where, you're going to have divisions exposed within the party. It's unclear when that will launch, but they will require it now. And the timeline is also unclear. Experts I've spoken to suggest that perhaps the party will look for a short run-up to give that new leader a chance to rebuild the party, to fundraise and get their name known ahead of the next provincial vote in 2029. But of course, there's no guarantee that that fixed election date will be the vote date. As we saw earlier this year, the province could always have another snap election as it did in 2025. That rests within the power of Premier Doug Ford.
Shawn Jeffords at Queen's Park. Thank you for this, Shawn.